accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
If we finish this journey, Enugu will not simply be changed, it will be reborn.
Yes, sir.
This vision is not mine alone. It is yours to realize,
Yes, sir.
yours to defend, and yours to demand.
He's doing well. This is just 1 quarter of his tenure in office. This is 2 years. We expect him to be there for 8 years. He has his plans. I'm sure he's working with his plans. He's doing well. Kitamba, to me, is exceptional. I see him like a man who had a vision and is now on the mission to actualize his vision. Because what he began to venture into when he took over government was so surprising to me. It was some of those projects that people run away, at least people at the end of affair, run away from. He went there with full force. And I saw some of those things that I thought were dead and had been abandoned being reactivated again. And I was very impressed. It's a blessing to this state. And I pray God to continue to guide and guide him throughout his administration. And beyond his first administration, first tenure, to the other tenure, because what he is doing is visible, and I appreciate it.
Only a blind man that cannot see and assess what Peter has done for the past 2 years. Peter came with this slogan, "Tomorrow is here," and Peter brought tomorrow down to Enugu. I mean, Peter is brilliant. Peter is creative. What you think he can't achieve, he just goes out. Look, okay. Peter will take go aeroplane to Enugu. Peter will take go transport. Now they use fuel. Look at the presidential. Look at it. Like no matter how much he or Peter has said, you can't help acknowledging the fact no more.
That technical break in transmission. Doc, we've seen testimonies to your assertion about this good work going on in Enugu State. Yes, eminent indigenes of Enugu State and Nigeria and Southeast are speaking to these innovations and development. But let's get back into our subject of conversation. And while listening to the governor speak in honor of that award, he dedicated that honor to the team. And I mean to ask, what does this very award, Sunman of the Year, what does it mean to the team? And to you in particular, because I've listened to you as the SSA on new media speak passionately, eloquently about the workings of this governor, more eloquently than most SSAs that I've encountered. What does it mean for you and that team?
Oh, okay, you see, at this level, you have to understand the kind of person the governor is. He's dedicating this award to his team, which means that he's not taking the glory all alone. He had always acknowledged that whatever that is, even though but you know that he drives the leadership and gives the direction. But then, at the implementation level, he has a team, and he has acknowledged the team. You understand? That tells you that his governor is a humble person. I don't know if you have encountered him. Very humble, soft-spoken, very humble, and compassionate. And then he understands. The team is the issue. That's if you like, collaboration. You understand? At that point where there is a team spirit, he's a team player, a team leader, someone who understands that, look, this thing is being done because I have a team. I have people I'm working with. He's a team leader. That's what it means. And he will go far. He goes far because every one of us are passionate about what the governor is doing. You see, for me, His Excellency has made my work very easy. He makes it very easy because you see me, do I struggle to tell you what the governor has done? Just struggle. But if he wasn't doing well, I'll be struggling. Not that money from Okumuna, everything is flowing because he has made the job easy. I can't even, if I decide to talk about smart schools, I will, for 1 hour, I'll be talking about smart schools. If I want to talk about the tattoo hospital for over 1 hour, I'll be talking about them. So I have a whole lot. So, but by and large, His Excellency understands that he has a team, and we are in it together. And everybody has brought sacrifice. You know where he said it. Sacrifice in the sense that at times, it's not, there's this sense of, I'm in government, I should get this, I should get that. No, you don't get to get all these things here because focus is on the people. Power has been shifted to the people. It's the people. So if you are in government, you have to sacrifice. If I tell you how much I receive, you will not believe it. But we are all passionate because the governor is driving it and the governor is working. And it's not as though the governor is taking any money. So when your boss is not taking such money, trying to pack up money, but you see that everything is going into projects. Immediately far comes project. Anything you receive project. Everything project. So it's like to the people. So he acknowledges the fact that he has people he's doing it. And it's enough motivation for us. Right. That is a motivation for the fact that His Excellency acknowledges that we are in it together. It's a motivation to us.
All right. You speak eloquently to the developments going on. You've spoken about the 1,022 roads that is going, the Enugu International Hospital, the Type 2 hospital, turning Enugu to a medical hub. But here on Insight, we'll try to balance the perspectives. And one of such, I'll call for the video when the governor moved to APC to enable me drive this point home.
It's all right.
This is a very contentious one. He's moved to APC. Well applauded. All of you followed suit.
Yes.
But I've listened to the other side of the divide, and equally to a lot of people who are in your camp as well. And the notion is that since your governor, Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State, moved to APC, that work in Enugu State has stalled compared to when he was in the PDP. What do you say to that?
That is a blatant lie. There's nothing like that. Nothing has been stalled. There are new fleets now brought into Enugu. Is it not as APC governor? He flagged off the 1,022 roads the other day. Is it not as APC governor? What are they talking about? Now, I told you that the opposition, what we see here is that they are just clutching at the straw. You understand? Look, if you have nothing to oppose, don't oppose. If you have nothing to oppose, don't oppose. Are you going to oppose good governance? Are you going to oppose projects? What are you going to oppose? So there's nothing to oppose. And you can see it clearly that there's nothing to oppose. How can anybody say that? Is there any work that is not going? Even in the water sector, work is still ongoing. If you tell me any sector, mention it. And I will tell you the new thing that the governor is doing. So how can anybody make that kind of thing? It's frivolous and not worth giving any attention because there's nothing like that. His Excellency is performing optimally. And like I said, much more are even coming.
Much more are
coming. The governor is out. By the time, I have always said, by the time he finishes with the Enugu State, Enugu people will say there was a governor. They will always remember, like I actually said, there was a country. They will always remember that there was a governor who really touched our lives. Jesus said, somebody has touched me. You understand? In a crowd, Jesus said, somebody has touched me. Enugu people will know that somebody has come to governance. By the time we will be relieving the administration of Peter Mba, people will say, wow, we never had it so good.
All right. Yes. So let's go back to this Man of the Year award.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask, looking ahead, how will this Man of the Year mantle propel Enugu beyond the headlines into Nigeria's top tier?
Well, like I told you, the target has always been there to make Enugu one of the three big subnational economies. Maybe if you take a look at Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu should come. And moreover, presently, Enugu came tops in 2024 as the state that has fiscal viability and autonomy. That is to say that Enugu can cover its operational expenses without even recourse to FAC. And governor has always said that, look, FAC is to be saved for our children, that we should be able to generate the resources we need to work, and currently it's happening.
Sorry, you said something. You mean to tell me that out of these expenditures in terms of development, investment, there are still savings going on?
No, what I'm saying is that Enugu is able, fiscal viability, we are able to meet our operational expenses with the funds we generate.
Okay.
Do you understand?
You're still saving for the future?
Yes, we are saving. That's why he's saying FAC should be saved. But we are ready. We are not financially encumbered. Enugu is not encumbered. Remember that Enugu is not one of the oil producing states. So we are not getting anything from derivation. But how come it that the governor has triggered this kind of development that Enugu has become financially viable and autonomous? It's because we have a financially creative governor at the seat of power. And a thinking governor that is thinking every day. You understand? People who are governors here, we all knew how it panned out. You understand? We relied on FAC before now, but now nobody is relying on FAC. He says he sees money everywhere in the street. That's it. It looks like Enugu has oil. We don't have any oil. But right now things are moving very well, and Enugu is buoyant and financially robust, and the economy is thriving. Why? Because we have a governor who is governing, who has come to work.
Doc, if I give you latitude of time, we'll keep listening to you, but we're running out of time. But before I will let you go, there's a question I'll have to ask out of script. And that has to do with what's going on in Nigeria presently. Speaking to electoral amendment, a lot of Nigerians are accusing APC of being scared of inserting that very word in section 60, subsection 3, as to transmission of the electoral result in real time from the polling unit to the RF. And I ask, in Enugu State, the APC in Enugu State, under the leadership of your principal, are you people scared of that very section 60, subsection 3, being amended to read transferring of results from the polling unit in real time?
You see, as far as Enugu is concerned, I will just quietly go to bed and sleep and wake up on the other side of Mba's election, second tenure election. I will go to bed and sleep and wake up on the other side.
You're not scared of the opposition?
How can I be scared of the opposition when you could see for yourself? Can't you see for yourself what Mba has done? Do you think that anybody can challenge Mba in Enugu State? What are you challenging him with? Where are you coming from? His work speaks for him. Now, if you are looking at that electoral issue, you see, we have the House of Representatives and the Senate. The essence of the Senate is, we know that House of Representatives is filled with young, vibrant young men with emotions and all that. But the Senate is like the loin cloth are tied around their waist to make for power modest. Alright, Senate is where you go to get wisdom. Look at what the Senate is saying. Look, see, we're talking about real time. Yes, transmission, electronic transmission, yes. We will transmit electronically. But what do you do when there is no network? That is a thought. What do you do? Because we are talking about real time. So there is need to back it up with this other form. Do you understand? And then when there's network, you can transmit it. That's what they're saying. It's not as though anybody is against electronic transmission. But we are saying, look, what if there's no network, which is an occurrence that happens? If there's no network and you say the real time, what do you do?
Or what if the grid collapses like the Senate President said?
So what do you do? So the idea is to make for eventualities. That's why there is that proviso. Do you understand? So Nigerians should understand that. Electronic transmission is quite yes. The Senate before now said it wasn't necessary. But upon the protest of Nigeria said, okay, yes, but we need to guide this thing. In event where there's no network, what do you do?
Okay.
So that's what they have done, and I think it's a wise decision.
That's a very clear one. I hope to engage you on that separately, maybe some other day. Okay. But finally, before I let you go on the very issue at hand, the subject is Barrister Peter Ndubisimba, and I ask, in the court of public opinion, especially with regards to Enugu State, is Mba's honor etched in stone or erasable with expose with passage of time?
How can that be? If you look at the projects he's doing, aren't they projects that would outlive the test of time? Yeah, and that's why I say that after Mba had ruled Enugu State, we will wake up and say, look, it is Uhuru. Look, there was a governor. How can you use? Where are you going to take all these smart schools to? Where are you going to take all the tattoo hospital to? Where are you going to take Enugu International Hospital to? Will you not be remembered that he built the ICC? Will you not be remembered that he built the new Enugu City? What are we talking about? These are legacy projects that are even done only in the life of the administration. What happens in his second tenure? What happens?
All right.
If you dance like this while you are at the bank of the river, what do you do when you get into the stream?
All right. That's the much we can take on the insight. We'll be speaking to Dr. Ruben Onishi, who is a senior special assistant to the governor of Enugu State on new media, a man the opposition fears to spar with, a man who is as passionate as he loves the project of Dr. Peter Ndubisimba as he is passionate about Enugu State. Doctor, it's a pleasure having you on the inside today.
Thank you.
And we hope to see more of you.
Thank you.
All right. And to you, our wonderful viewers, remember that your views matter. Let us know what you think about this issue, about the issues Doc have raised this morning. Let us know with the hashtag #AllAtInsight, all at Aneke TV on YouTube, and reach us equally on our WhatsApp line. I still remain your host, Uche Osite. Will come your way same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.
My name is Dr. Emmanuel Ihechi Asonye. I am the CEO of Omenka App LLC. I created Omenka App for the preservation of Igbo language and culture. Omenka App was established in New Mexico, and it is headquartered in Albuquerque, but currently we are also being registered in Nigeria. We have a website. We are also on social media, because my app is primarily for the Igbo community. In 2006, something significant happened among the Igbo community. UNESCO predicted that Igbo language was going to go into extinction, and that was because Igbo people are one of the most traveled people in the whole world. So the more children are born outside of Igbo land, the more they get disconnected. The app is on iOS, it's also on Android. Access the website and download the app from there. And over 2,000 people are using the app right now. But there's an app that will teach you about Igbo culture, Igbo people. We have Igbo poems, we have riddles and jokes, we have Igbo proverbs, then we have the word section where you are going to search Igbo words. Whatever word that you can find in English, you want to make sure it is found in the app in Igbo language. And I encourage everybody from their communities, you can do what we're doing in Omenka app with your own language and with your own culture. Do not allow your culture or your language to die.
Good afternoon and welcome to News Across the Country on Aneke TV. I'm Deborah Wakba. Now moving over to the headlines. National Peace Committee flags high-risk areas across the country. Electricity workers serve 21-day strike notice. Federal government raises alarm over increasing widowhood from court violence. Some to certify rice from IFAD VCDP farmers in Enugu. And now to the details of the news. The federal government has dismissed reports that the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway failed structurally following heavy rainfall on Tuesday. Federal Controller of Works Olufemi Dare said flash flooding was caused by vandalism, not construction defects. Vandals broke concrete manhole covers to stay iron reinforcements blocking the underground drainage system. Dare explained that the destruction has torn drainage channels into refuse dump, preventing storm water from reaching designated canals. The situation has intensified waterlogging along the highway corridor. He also reported that 50 steel fence sections and several traffic signs were stolen overnight, highlighted a pattern of criminal activity threatening the multi-billion-naira project. Authorities have launched a security operation. The Lagos State Police Command, NDLEA, and the Specialized Task Force are removing shanties near Maro Junction. The highway will be closed from midnight Friday to Saturday afternoon for the Access Bank Marathon, and Minister of Works David Umahi is expected to inspect the site on Friday. The National Peace Committee has flagged Amak, Gwagwalada, Wari, and Kuje as high-risk areas ahead of the February 21st FCT Area Council elections. MPC Project Manager Asaben Dahi said these councils require immediate security mobilization to prevent electoral violence. The committee cited specific threats per council. Amak faces vote buying and candidate intimidation. Gwagwalada is affected by indigenous settler tensions. Wari faces farmer-headed conflicts and kidnapping risk. Kuje and Kwali are vulnerable due to proximity to borders with Kaduna and Niger states. MPC sharing detailed intelligence with Aneke to guide security deployments. The committee is monitoring both pre-election violence and electoral offences using a two-stream tracking system. Authorities are urged to proactively address potential disputes, strengthen rural security presence, and ensure credible, violence-free elections in the FCT. Seen as a critical test for the 2027 general elections. Rotary Clubs of New Haven, Enugu City Centre, and Enugu Metropolis launched a literacy, hygiene, and career development program at New Haven Secondary School. The initiative teamed Our Youth, Our Future, bringing back the reading culture, involved workshops and structured learning sessions for students and staff. The school's Interact Club was reactivated with 36 students formally inducted. A total of 216 students received reading materials to improve literacy and critical thinking skills. Career seminars included guidance on medicine, arts, laboratory sciences, hygiene, and digital research. Teachers and staff participated in a peace and conflict resolution session led by past President Tony Eze and past Assistant Governor Stella Aneke. Participants received strategies for managing conflicts and promoting effective interpersonal and institutional relations. The club also donated books to the school library and presented recognition gifts to the principal and vice principal. The program is part of a broader strategy to advance youth development, education, and community resilience in Enugu State. The National Union of Electricity Employees has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government over labor grievances in the power sector. Acting General Secretary Dominic Igwebike accused generating and distribution companies of operating illegally and neglecting workers' rights. The union claims employers have refused to implement the 2025 National Minimum Wage Act and blocked unionization since privatization 12 years ago. Staff reports insecure working conditions and stiff collective bargaining. NUEE warned that failure to address this concern will force the deployment of all lawful legal actions, potentially leading to a nationwide power shutdown. The union called on the federal government to intervene immediately to resolve disputes and safeguard electricity workers' welfare, stressing that continued inaction could trigger a major energy crisis. Senator Kaka Shehu has rejected the presidential villas 127 million naira SUV budget as insufficient for procuring secure bulletproof vehicles. He said the amount could only cover used cars, which would undermine Nigeria's diplomatic image during foreign visits. She commended President Tinubu for budget transparency but urged the Budget Office to submit realistic projections reflecting current market rates for high-end vehicles. The Senate Committee on Special Duties resolved to adjust the appropriation bill to meet security and diplomatic requirements. The committee emphasized that while fiscal prudence remains a priority under the renewed hope agenda, the safety and prestige of presidential villa transport cannot be compromised. Minister of Works David Umahi pled to resign if the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano road fails an independent quality assessment. He challenged the National Assembly to conduct their own concrete tests to verify project standards. Senator Adams Oshomole questioned why a lesser-known contractor replaced an established firm for a section of the highway, citing concerns over technical capacity. Umahi dismissed the objections, stating the results, not the contractor's background, are the primary measure of success. He invited a public inspection of the project and reaffirmed confidence in the contractor's performance. The ministry seeks approval for 2026 capital estimates while addressing scrutiny over contract awards. Former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai accused National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu of using security agencies to intimidate political opponents. El-Rufai alleged Ribadu bypassed legal protocols, ordering arrest without prior investigation, and instructing judges to deny bail. He cited the detention of former Nimasa Chief Bashir Jamo beyond the 48-hour constitutional limit as evidence of a lawful arrest. El-Rufai claimed his tactics target opposition figures and warned that he could be next. The presidency and NSA office have not issued a response to the allegations, while security oversight and constitution adherence remain under scrutiny. APC National Security Surajuddin Basiru met Kano Governor Abba Yusuf following his defection from the NNPP. The meeting focused on unifying the party structure and consolidating support in Kano State. Discussions emphasized reinforcing APC dominance in the state, a strategic northern political stronghold. Basiru described the engagement as critical and regional stability and alignment with national leadership. The visit signals APC effort to court former rivals and strengthen its base ahead of upcoming elections. Governor Yusuf's integration into the APC represents a significant realignment in Kano politics, potentially reshaping local and national electoral dynamics. The African Democratic Congress will launch a nationwide membership registration drive Thursday at 10 a.m. in Abuja. The initiative targets all 36 states and the FCT to expand grassroots participation. Party leadership described the exercise as a people-powered movement designed to consolidate internal democracy and create a representative political base. The registration will also engage high-profile defectors and new members, reinforcing the ADC's presence in key regions. The party aims to challenge existing political structures, strengthen its grassroots organization, and increase competitiveness ahead of the national election. President Bola Tinubu hosted a number of Governor Chukwuma Soludo and businessman Sir Aneke at the State House in Abuja. The closed-door meeting focused on regional development and private sector participation though details remain undisclosed. Observers know that discussion may include infrastructure projects, security and public-private partnership in the southeast. The visit coincides with heightened economic and political activity nationwide. The presidency is expected to release official statements once discussions conclude, clarifying the outcomes and agreements reached. NBA President Afam Osigwe-San warned that Nigeria's judiciary is being used to suppress dissent and protect powerful politicians. He said judges are denying bail in bailable cases without legal justification, compromising democratic space. Osigwe argued that space practices turn courts into instruments of oppression rather than justice, undermining public trust in the legal system. He highlighted recent arrests of journalists and social media influencers as examples of systemic interference in freedom of expression. The NBA called for immediate judicial reforms to uphold constitutional rights, protect citizens, and maintain the integrity of Nigeria's democracy. You're watching Aneke TV News across the country. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Now here's a quick reminder of major developments in the news. National Peace Committee warns of high-risk areas nationwide. Electricity workers announced 21-day strike. And coming up shortly, Edo government flags rising widowhood from court-related violence. Sown to certify rice produced by IFAD VCDP farmers in Enugu. We'll be right back.
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Welcome back. Still on the news. The Edo State government has raised alarm over surging widows and fatherless children caused by court-related violence. John Izegebe, Secretary of the Special Security Squad Operation Flushout, stated that mindless killings are destroying families and leaving long-term humanitarian consequences. Governor Monday Okpepolo's administration is shifting focus to schools, conducting awareness campaigns in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. Major schools like Edo Boys High School and Ihobe College have already been targeted to educate students of the dangers of courtesan and substance abuse. Ide Mutianoa, head of the governor's Special Security Squad, said the Zero Tolerance campaign will expand to Edo Central and North Senatorial districts. Former lawmaker Ihozua Johnson Abonayima warned that needed drugs no courtesan were for part of success. Educators are calling for permanent anti-courtesan clubs in all 18 local government areas. The government emphasized that the effort is not only about policing but protecting the next generation from cycles of crime and destruction. The Nigeria Correctional Service has proposed 14.83 billion naira in its 2026 budget to feed 91,100 inmates nationwide. Controller General Sylvester Wakuche told the House Committee on Reformatory Institutions that daily feeding rate will be 1,125 naira per inmate, aligned with UN standards. The full budget request totals 198.85 billion naira, covering staff salaries for over 37,000 employees, maintenance, infrastructure expansion, and non-custodial programs. Capital expenditure is projected at 100.50 billion naira to address aging facilities. Wakuche highlighted that 51,955 of the current 80,812 inmates are awaiting trial, creating operational and financial pressure. The House Committee Chairman Chinedu Oga emphasized the need for prison reform and praised educational initiatives such as national pre-university programs within facilities. Oga also stressed that the Correctional Service Trust Fund bill must be passed for sustainable financing. The NCOS faces outstanding 2025 food ration debt exceeding 10 billion naira, making the 2026 proposal crucial for modernizing the country's congested prisons. A fire engulfs Kasuwayan Katako timber market in Vigia Lemo Kano, destroying 30 permanent structures and 55 temporary stores. The blaze began around 4:28 a.m. on Wednesday, prompting intervention from the Wanao, Vigia Zaki, and Bompai fire stations. Simultaneously, a patrol tanker caught fire at Zamson filling station on Ibrahim Taiwo Road. Quick response by firefighters prevented a major explosion, although the tanker sustained partial damage. Authorities are investigating the cause of both incidents. Kano State Fire Service has issued safety warnings to traders and fuel station operators to adhere strictly to electrical and operational safety protocols. Affected timber merchants now face significant losses as they begin the recovery process. The state has urged caution and preventive measures to mitigate future disasters. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has declared victory over the weekly sit-at-home order in Southeast Nigeria. Over 45,000 shops at Onitsha main market are now operational, making a recovery of nearly 20% of lost productivity. The restoration follows a security offensive that dismantled 62 criminal camps across the state. The government has institutionalized the Agone Chamber of Vigilante and deployed anti-courtism task forces to maintain safety for traders and schools. Soludo described the Monday lockdowns imposed on IPOB as previously eroding investor confidence and driving business capital out of the region. The reopening signals both immediate economic recovery and long-term growth prospects. The government also announced plans to modernize Onitsha main market by reclaiming parking spaces and upgrading infrastructure, aiming to position it as a premier commercial hub in West Africa. The Standards Organization of Nigeria's commended rights processing centers under IFAD VCDP in Enugu State. Mr. Peter Ahmed, son Enugu, coordinator inspected facilities in Mimbulu Owo and Uhu Eze in Mewe, noting efforts by women farmers as impressive and commendable. SON plans capacity building and sensitization programs to ensure compliance with national industrial standards and certification under the Mandatory Confirmatory Assessment Program (MANCAP). Certified rice will assure quality for consumers nationwide. Dr. Edward Isiwu, IFAD VCDP State Coordinator, said the program aims to shift farming from subsistence to agribusiness. The initiative includes aggregation centers, processing mills, solar-powered water systems, and childcare facilities for working mothers. The Enugu State government contributed 70% of equipment costs through IFAD, while cooperatives contributed 30%. SON certification will allow Enugu-grown rice to compete nationally, enhancing local economic empowerment and market confidence. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has achieved full capacity operation at 650,000 barrels per day on its crude distillation unit and motor spirit block, becoming the first refinery in the world to do so. CEO David Bird confirmed that all critical units are running optimally. The refinery now produces up to 75 million liters of premium motor spirit daily, increasing from 50 million liters during the festive period. Phase 2 testing begins next week to further validate operational efficiency. The milestone positions Nigeria to eliminate reliance on imported fuel and become a net exporter to refined petroleum products. The MS block ensures high-quality fuel production in line with international standards. Officials predict achievements will strengthen the Naira and support energy stability across West Africa, marking Dangote Refinery as a global leader in refining operations. Nigeria's Minister of Transportation, Senator Saidu Alkali, disclosed that his ministry received just 1% of its 256.73 billion naira 2025 capital allocation. 70% of projects were deferred to 2026 due to insufficient funding. Alkali announced plans for a 4,000-kilometer high-speed rail network and modern bus terminals under the Renewed Hope agenda. The Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning defended state asset sales as value unlocking rather than budget fixing measures. The House of Representatives highlighted inadequate funding for the Auditor General, with a proposed 15.88 billion naira allocation insufficient to oversee over 1,000 agencies. Committee Chairman Bamidele Salam warned this undermines anti-corruption efforts. While the government prioritizes public-private partnership to boost growth, lawmakers insist that proper cash releases and oversight funding are critical for economic recovery and transparency. The Nigerian naira continued its rally against the US dollar, closing at 1,348.95 naira at the official market, up from 1,351.02 naira the previous day. In the foreign markets, the currency strengthened to 1,445 naira per dollar. Analysts attribute the gains to the central bank's directive allowing weekly sales of up to $150,000 to licensed bureau de change operators, reducing speculative demand. Foreign reserves rose to $47.38 billion as of February 9th, up from $47.3 billion 3 days prior, providing liquidity to sustain market stability. The naira's performance reflects increased investor confidence and marks a rare period of currency stability, narrowing the gap between official and parallel exchange rates. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the New England Patriots 29-13 at Super Bowl 60. Nigerian-born players play pivotal roles, including quarterback Jalen Milroe, defensive stars Nick Emawori, Uchenna Nwosu, Boye Mafe and offensive lineman Olu Oluwatimi. President Bola praised their performance, emphasizing the goal visibility of Nigerian talent. Emawori Wosu and Mafe unfurled the Nigerian flag post-game, a moment widely shared from social media. The victory marks the Seahawks' second Lombardi trophy and highlights the contribution of Nigerian heritage athletes towards sports. President Tinubu also congratulated Michael Owenu of the Patriots, acknowledging his dominance despite the loss. The win serves as inspiration for Nigerians at home and in the diaspora. Nigerian-born UFC star Israel, the lifestyle vendor Ade Sanya, has announced plans to retire in 2027, estimating fewer than 10 fights remain in his career. He revealed the decision on his YouTube channel. Adesanya is currently on a three-fight losing streak, but will return at the Octagon on March 28 at UFC Seattle to face Joe Pfeiffer. He enters as a betting underdog for the first time, aiming to regain momentum. The 36-year-old cited a 2025 gym injury that cancelled a grappling match with Rainier the Rider, calling the hiatus a recovery opportunity. Adesanya ruled out boxing and criticized the 185-pound division as bland, promising to reinvigorate the category before retiring. Lagos content creator Fem Street reported being sexually assaulted for an fraudulent job offer. The incident occurred on February 8 in Agile Estate, where she and a friend were allegedly lured under the promise of 140,000 naira for a shoot. Victims claimed the apartment was empty. They were threatened and assaulted. The suspect reportedly seized their phones, transferring personal files and threatening to leave them online. Pam shared her story on TikTok to warn others, prompting public outcry and circulation of the alleged suspect images. The Lagos State Police confirmed efforts to locate the complainant and stressed that a formal complaint is required to trigger a full investigation. Authorities emphasized the growing risk influencers face from predatory individuals online. Nollywood actress Destiny Etiko and singer Access Van appear set to marry in 2026. Access Van posted a cozy image of the couple with the caption, "Be Our Guest 2026," signaling a wedding timeline. Etiko, known as Drama Doll, has consistently denied dating rumors and maintained that her lifestyle is self-earned. The post confirms a new chapter in her personal life. The announcement has ignited fan excitement and speculation about one of the most anticipated weddings in Nollywood. Industry observers note this public confirmation presents a unified front amid past controversies surrounding Etiko's private relationships. And now to end news across the country, here are the main points again. The National Peace Committee has issued a warning on high-risk areas across the country, urging residents and authorities to remain vigilant and take precautionary measures to prevent conflicts. Electricity workers have formally served a 21-day strike notice, signaling potential disruptions in power supply if negotiations with mismanagement do not yield results. The Edo state government has raised concerns over the increasing number of widows resulting from court-related violence, calling for urgent intervention and enhanced security measures in affected communities. The Standards Organization of Nigeria's son is set to certify rice produce by IFAD VCDP farmers in Enugu, a move aimed at ensuring quality, boosting local agriculture and enhancing market access for farmers. And that's news across the country at noon. For breaking news and eyewitness reports, call 070-3043-7110 or follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Aneke TV. On behalf of the producer, Chidima Sogwa, and the entire news team, I'm Deborah Makuba. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
In functional democracies and competitive economies, meritocracy is not a slogan, it is a system. A system where competence determines opportunity, performance drives advancement, and leadership is earned, not inherited or imposed. In Nigeria, however, the persistent triumph of mediocrity over merit continues to shape recruitment processes, elective positions, and leadership outcomes across critical sectors of national life. From public service employment to political office, from academia to corporate governance, troubling pattern has emerged. Access often trumps ability, loyalty outweighs competence, and short-term political calculations override long-term national interests. In the public sector, recruitment exercises are officially designed to be competitive, involving written examinations, interviews, and eligibility screening. Yet, multiple surveys and independent audits have consistently shown that informal influence, patronage networks, and bribery remain significant determinants of who gets hired. This reality has produced ministries, departments, and agencies burdened with underqualified personnel, struggling to deliver on complex policy mandates in a rapidly evolving global environment. The consequences are not abstract. They manifest in delayed project execution, weak policy implementation, inefficient service delivery, and ballooning recurrent expenditure with minimal value creation. When institutions are staffed without regard for skill or capacity, governance becomes reactive rather than strategic. The problem is not limited to recruitment alone. Nigeria's elective political system reflects the same crisis of merit. In many cases, candidates emerge not through rigorous debate, policy clarity, or intellectual depth, but through financial muscle, political godfathers, or ethnic calculations. Electoral outcomes frequently reward popularity, patronage, or vote buying over competence and vision. The result is a leadership deficit that cuts across local government councils, state assemblies, governorships, and even the national legislature, institutions constitutionally taxed with lawmaking, oversight, and representation, yet often lacking the technical depths required to interrogate budgets, scrutinize policies, or design forward-looking legislation. Other sectors tell a similar story. In education, the erosion of merit in academic appointment has weakened research quality and global competitiveness. In some tertiary institutions, promotions and leadership roles are influenced more by internal politics than scholarly output. In the corporate space, family ties and informal networks sometimes override professional management principles, limiting innovation and sustainability. Ironically, Nigeria continues to produce world-class professionals who excel in merit-driven systems abroad, from medicine and engineering to technology, finance, and academia. Their success outside the country reinforces a painful truth. The problem is not Nigerian capacity, but Nigerian systems. Countries that have achieved rapid development offer contrasting examples. Singapore, Rwanda, and South Korea institutionalize meritocracy through transparent recruitment, performance-based promotion, and zero tolerance for patronage. Leadership selection in these systems prioritize competence, integrity, and accountability, even when politically inconvenient. Back home, the cost of failing to do the same is increasingly evident. Brain drain has accelerated as skilled Nigerians seek environments where effort is rewarded fairly. Public trust in institutions has declined, and citizens grow more cynical about processes they perceive as rigged or predetermined. Yet, experts argue that the tide can be turned. Strengthening meritocracy requires deliberate reform, not rhetoric. Transparent digital recruitment platforms, independently supervised examinations, enforceable sanctions for recruitment breaches, and clear performance metrics are critical starting points. In the political space, Electoral reforms that reduce the influence of money, strengthen internal party democracy, and encourage issue-based campaigns are essential to improving leadership quality. Civil society, the media, and the electorate also carry responsibility to interrogate candidates, demand competence, and reject mediocrity at the ballot box. Ultimately, meritocracy is not elitism, it is fairness. It is the assurance that every Nigerian, regardless of background, has a genuine chance to rise based on ability and effort. Without it, institutions weaken, leadership falters, and national ambition remains unrealized. For Nigeria to compete globally, govern effectively, and harness its vast human capital, merit must no longer be optional. It must become the standard. In recruitment, in elections, and in every field where decisions shape the nation's future.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is the Commissioner for Enjoyment. Today I bring you the happiness, the fun, and the vibes, and how it's going. Because I want you to know that I'm here to introduce you. This week is the week of Valentine. What are you doing for your lover? What are you doing for your lovers? And what are your lovers doing for you? Well, we're going to find out this and more as we discuss this afternoon. Well, I have the best of the best with me today. I know Red Pepper today. Red Pepper said that her pepper is not going to be spicy today, so she said she will bring all this tomorrow. So Red Pepper is getting up tomorrow for the Valentine wave, and today I have Red Pepper's cousin. This one is more redder than Red Pepper. I'm talking about Mahai.
No, I'm not Pepe actually. Let me introduce myself.
You are Flower.
This a girl, Fatu, All right. Like he said I'm red pepper, but I want to tell you guys that I am not only pepper. I'm onions. You know what onions does to the eye, right? It doesn't just like. I'm not onion. You understand what onions does to the eye? Like it makes you cry. Even when you don't want to cry. So I am onions.
You're onions.
Exactly.
You're what?
Onions.
That's why you're wearing purple.
Yeah, because back then in school, my department, but nowhere is purple. So they do address us as onion purple.
Onion purple.
Yeah. So that's it.
Let me tell you, you are in trouble. I'm sure you know that you are really in trouble. Why I say you are in trouble is because Commissioner will not let you rest until you do what you have to do.
The only time Commissioner should stress me is when he's taking me out for a shopping spree. Actually, the only time you should stress me is when you are telling me, let's go for shopping, let's go for this Valentine shopping.
So I should be dragging you like General.
Like just, you don't need to drag me, just keep me going. Like tell me, oh babe, it's time for shopping. Why haven't you dressed up? Why are you sitting?
No,
let's go.
We don't use the word babe. We use the word consequence.
Consequence.
You are from my consequence. So I use the word consequence.
Alright.
Consequence, are you going out?
That's the only time you should stress me.
Consequence, are you going out? Consequence.
You don't need to ask me if I'm going now. I need it to be thoughtful.
So
just wake up from one morning and tell me, dress up, it's time for shopping. Then I will just start up gladly. Yeah, it's time for shopping. Then
do you know what you're saying? What you're just saying is that, what have you told them for Commissioner?
Well, I will turn up for you when you've...
Obago when? Brethren, Obago when? When is my turn? Is now, it has entered when?
Because I started this first, so you're going to do mine first before yours. Me first, you...
Okay, let's do again. O-G-B-A-N-J-E. Pronounce it.
O-G-B-A.
N-J-E.
N-J-E. O-G-B-A.
N-J-E. Pronounce it.
Don't worry, do that later.
Okay, no, pronounce it. Pronounce it now.
No.
Okay, let's do another one. W-I-T-C-H.
W-I-T-C-H.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm not able to get this word in my head to really understand what it be like. I don't know. I'm finding it difficult, but I will not pronounce it for now.
Okay.
Until I know what it is.
You know, the first thing I spelled was O-G-B-A-N-J-E. Obanje.
Exactly why I didn't want to pronounce it.
Okay, so the last one.
I'm not an Obanje.
No, I didn't ask you. I'm not saying you are. Are you Obanje?
No.
And you're not behaving like one.
Men always say that women are Obanje.
No, I didn't say commissioner is not men.
Not all men.
No, commissioner is not men. Commissioner is part of some men. The positive side of men is where commissioner is. In my consequence, we don't do that.
Okay.
You get? We are good men. We are good people. So that's what I want you to know.
Okay.
Well, moving on this afternoon, I want to bring you the stories that are trending. And you know this guy called Uzo Arukwe. Uzo Arukwe, he did Odogwu Pararan, and he has featured a lot in the movies. Since he did Odogwu Pararan, since he debuted in Odogwu Pararan, we've not heard everywhere he put your head on YouTube or Facebook, Pararan, everywhere. And ladies, we have not. Ladies are the people carrying the pararan on their head because of what that guy played there. Now, in this particular tweet and in this particular thing that we're talking about, yesterday, day before yesterday, someone made a post, trying to ask him, "Oh, you do this in movies." We'll talk about it Red Pepper. Now, I want to ask you, when they say when people go intimate in movies, he actually does that. Just some kind of places. Now, the person was asking, "Are you not married?" It was like, even if I'm married, this is my role in the movie, not my marriage. What do you think about that?
Well, to me, I don't see anything wrong with him being intimacy with female worker, female whoever. So I think it's just the role he's playing. That doesn't mean that's reality.
Okay. If that's your husband.
Because before the woman agreed to marry him, she already knew what he was into. So it shouldn't be a surprising thing for her.
Let me ask you, what
she already agreed to marry him.
What if the man is your husband?
If he's my husband, I don't have a problem with that.
Are you serious?
I do not have it, because he's been doing that before we got married.
Okay, so
I have no reason to stop him from, as long as he's making money. Okay.
That's the problem. So as long as he's making money.
Yes, making money. Now, his role.
Now, I want to ask you. Something. Do you think it is good for people to think the way you think about this?
If it's good for people to think the way I think about
it, take it the way you are taking it.
I think people should just
be themselves.
Be who you are. I just don't understand that you're just acting.
What if it's real in the acting?
It's real. Okay, let's come in with the movie.
Okay.
Odogwu. Those two people, they are married. Bam Bam is married.
Okay.
He might be married. I don't know about Ozo. I don't know if Ozo is married. I don't know. But I think they are both adults. For them to play that role, their husband, their wife agreed to that. Already seen the scripts. Because I've come across where one of the actors were like, before I play a certain role, I will give this to my husband to take a look. I'll give this to my wife to see, to read through the script, to see this is what I'm going to play. For her not to see it as surprise when she sees it in the movie.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. So
they're both adults.
They're both adults.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually something that I think you are making sense, but at the same time, I'm trying to understand your sense.
Okay.
No, not that you're not making sense, because you know that what you say. Okay, this is your role. You have to separate your life with what you do. Now let's talk about Two-Face. Two-Face came out to say that many people think that he's a womanizer, but he's not a womanizer.
Okay.
That he is just a lover boy.
Bam.
What do you think about that?
A lover boy.
Two-Face says he's a lover boy.
A lover boy. People. I know people always say you don't believe people until they will show you, they will do something, their actions really matters. He already shown us that he's a womanizer by getting women pregnant, like that thing, right?
You're asking me, am I two-faced?
Yeah, so he's a womanizer. There's nothing you could say about it. Already, it's more like a stigma. We've come with it, we grow with it, seeing that he has so many women around him. He got pregnant, more than 2 women. So, once he tried to convince us that he's just a lover boy, he's trying to convince us that guy is a womanizer. There's nothing he could say about it.
If you say Two-Face is a womanizer,
he's a womanizer.
Let me ask you, if you say he's a womanizer, what are the terms? On what terms is he a womanizer? What actually makes him a womanizer? What do you see and you say, okay, this person is a womanizer?
He said it in his song, I like woman, best straightforward.
Was he the one that said
He's
that?
the one that said, he said he likes women.
He said woman, not women. He didn't say, I like women. No, he said, I like woman. I did straightforward.
Women, they are the same thing.
No, women say that.
Oh, stop. I know what I'm saying. Woman, if you know, let us say woman. I like women, I did straightforward. He just trying to tell us that. He was just passing a message, I like women. Okay, just I like women. That's exactly what he was trying to say.
Okay. So
I like women and I'm straightforward about it.
We didn't even talk about the Peruzzi side. Peruzzi actually sang the same verse with him. Is you know that song that Amaka disappointed?
Yes. Amaka really disappointed him. Amaka that he was inviting over behind his wife. That's why he sang that song.
Well, see guys, I didn't say this one.
Peruzzi didn't say such. Peruzzi said he likes women. He said another thing in his own verse. Okay? So, people just try to, why are you coming out to try to convince us about something that we've all known him for years? In fact, let me just crown it all men are womanizer.
No! I don't believe.
You see all those men that usually come out to say, tell their girlfriend or tell a lady, I don't have time for women, I'm just focusing on chasing money, I don't have time for women. See those people, first they have a serious relationship behind closed door, which you don't even know. Secondly, they are chronic cheats. They womanize a lot. You don't need to all men womanize, both married and single.
No.
I'm here.
What did you just say?
I said all men womanize.
All men don't womanize.
Okay.
And I put it to you that all men does not womanize.
Okay.
And you know that when people say that men are naturally
exactly what I wanted to say.
No, that's not
because
true.
That's just the lie.
That's a lie.
They just used to cover up their tracks to make women believe that yes, they are like that in nature.
Are you guys? What are you even saying?
I'm saying that we all men womanize.
You all men womanize. All men.
Yeah, come on, talking about Two-Face that has plenty baby mamas. So is it convince us?
He said he's a lover boy.
Which lover boy?
Listen, no one told you.
Lover boy is a man that likes, that has love. He loves. He loves.
So you're saying Two-Face doesn't love?
He loves, like he has love.
Two-Face, they say he don't love.
Well, not in terms of womanizing. That guy is a chronic. I'm sure he's been cheating on Natasha. Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Now, let's move over from this Two-Face matter because we're already fighting. Because how would you say Two-Face is not a lover boy? He's the face for me. He's actually a face for me. Now, is Two-Face. Do you think if Two-Face wants to move on, why is he still hot? Why is he still found hot?
You still found hot, right?
Yes, he still looks hot to the people he looks to.
Yeah, he's still hot because him and Annie, when it comes to Annie, his wife.
Why did they divorce? There was no news about why.
Why? Yeah, there was nothing to say.
No, there was nothing to see except some alleged issues here and there.
Saying that Annie was a drug addict, which all made up. Even what's her name? Regina's husband came out to say the same exactly. They all look for something to say to justify their actions, which is wrong.
Okay.
Two-Face doesn't want to stay in marriage.
Okay.
He didn't want to stay in that marriage. He didn't want to he wants to be tasting different women. Okay? Probably him and Natasha, whatever her name is, has been doing that behind Annie, and Annie has been suspecting, and he couldn't have it any longer, and that's why he came out to, came out openly to talk about the divorce and all that.
Okay.
I'm very much sure he's still in love with Annie. Very sure of that.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
And that's why he's hurting.
Who is hurting?
I also said that he's not being a good father to his kids. He's not being there for them.
Okay, let me ask you. Let's talk about this, because it looks like we're talking about it this afternoon. Why is there women everywhere, but women are not the women that are everywhere are not being taken?
Are not being taken.
Yes. Why are there girls everywhere?
Okay.
And why is there this issue of when you ask a young man, oh, are you going to do this? Do you want to marry now? And say yes. Well, have you seen who to marry? There are women all over the place, but he has decided to. So why? Why do you think it's happening?
Perhaps this certain person might have a particular taste in women.
What taste?
And maybe
what taste? Is it not taste of? Is it not like? Is it not? What do you mean?
Let me see who he wants to marry.
Who wants to marry? Because what's the problem? Because what's the problem?
Which he hasn't seen.
Is it not wickedness? Is it
wickedness from the man?
Wickedness that is flying around, that is everywhere. No. Is it not wickedness? I've never heard anybody say, oh guys, all guys are around me, I don't know who to choose. Or these men that sit, and from experience, I've let people say.
That's what the man now shower. One day, one place.
That is the problem.
That's just it. He doesn't know whom to choose, because he said a lot of beautiful ladies, maybe they all portray the character he requires to get married to a woman, and he hasn't made up his mind, because there are good women out there.
There are good women out there, but let's talk about celebrities and their marriages. Why are they falling out, and why are they still making the choices knowing they'll still fall out? What is really happening? Because the other day, there's in this news, this Bam Bam.
Teddy A, that's the Achalugo.
Yes, Teddy A.
Yeah.
That kind of fallout issue. No, it's not. It's allegedly, of course, because we are seeing that.
That's not
it's not the real stuff. Now, that's the rumor. Let's say it's a rumor. But what about the real stuffs that are going on? Celebrities. Does it mean that when you become a celebrity, you have the ability to, make your choices? And then, does it mean when you become a celebrity, you can go out your way, having your choice? Because that's actually what's happened. So what do you think about celebrity and marriage? Have you seen someone like Kiss Daniel when he got married and he locked up?
Has Kiss Daniel married?
Yes, Kiss Daniel is
baby mama.
Not baby mama. Kiss Daniel is married.
Okay.
These guys, of course, Davido is married. Wizkid is married. Yes, they are. What's their name? The Banj is married. All these guys are married, and we are not on the news.
Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you the reason why most things happen, why their marriages seems not to last. Because most of them bring their marriages into the media.
It's not true.
Most of them marry just for them to create content with their spouse, to show off online, to get more engagement. Okay, that's the reason most of them that do not last.
Okay.
And secondly, they do marry because of material things. Maybe this guy is well to do, the hook with that person I want to marry. Because I've come across, what's this lady's name? What's her name again? And this the lady. I heard that the marriage crashed. That girl, what's her name? I've forgotten her name. She's, I don't know. They know her as they will do. I've forgotten her name.
I've forgotten her name too, because I don't know those people that are married.
Her marriage didn't last. There was the news that flew last year.
Okay.
I think printed on last year that her husband wasn't what. The husband didn't marry her. As we all saw that they got married, they did traditional marriage. But she came out to say that the husband didn't pay her bride price. at the end of the day. People are wondering how, but we saw pictures, we saw the whole thing. So how come you come out to say that the man didn't marry you traditionally, that you didn't do anything, didn't pay your papa, you're just living together?
Okay, now let's talk about this particular thing. Someone said that he doesn't like when it's a traditional wedding, that she doesn't like when a woman is meant to kneel down. A woman kneels down to give the husband the drink. So now my question is, what should a woman do?
I don't think they should stop it. It's been there. It's a tradition. There is a tradition for a lady to kneel before her husband to give him a drink. It's just a sign of respect.
So, but the lady said no, that it doesn't think it makes sense.
It makes sense. But if I'm not like, but of course, we ladies, we like it when a man kneels down to propose to us. I would like my man in future to kneel down to propose to me. Okay? Yeah, because it's like a tradition. So a lady is also supposed to kneel down to give the man his drink. Because it's tradition.
Yes, of course it's tradition.
Shouldn't be stopped.
It shouldn't be stopped. But talking about proposal, do you think it always makes sense for the guy to kneel down?
It makes sense. You have to kneel down.
So if they stand up, you not take the ring.
Like I wouldn't take the ring. I would feel as though you're trying to, it's not coming from your heart. You're doing it in terms of I'm doing you a favor. I just, why will I kneel down? You're priding. You need to kneel down. You're begging this lady to spend the rest of your life, to take your mess, because there is a lot to do in marriage, and the ladies go through a lot in marriage. It's not easy, in as much as the man also does his own. He provides for the family, but I think the lady do more. Childbirth, a lot, take care of the house, cook for the man, which is not compulsory that you should be cooking for your husband.
She has said the one that we will
I don't know about it. I like cooking. Actually, I don't
like cooking. What do you like? You like buying food?
I like buying.
So who cooks for you?
I think when I gave my we should have a chef.
Do you cook?
I cook, but
you don't like cooking, but you like.
I cook because I'm staying with my parents. Okay, that's the reason why I cook at home. Because I just need to do it for the sake of unity.
Yes, now that's the same way. So you know what?
Like it's coming from my heart. I need to do it. I don't like cooking. I don't like anything kitchen. Yes, just don't.
It's fine. Let me tell you something. Wherever you are in the world tomorrow, tune in to Aneke TV. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
I promise you. I tell you, it's going to be very hot because, man, you're not ready for what is coming. You're not ready for what is going to happen because, man, here is going to get so hot. Red pepper, Mazu Wanile, with the west of the west, pretty west of the east, the Dabingo Dabalaya. He's going to be here live, and I'm going to be hosting these chieftains. I call them chieftains because they are special and they have done a lot of things. And I want to let you know that this is how it is, and this is where we are drawing the curtain close. Thank you very much, Ma, for doing this with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ofatu, for having me here once again.
Yeah.
We'll do this next time.
Well, we'll do this next time. So thank you very much. Let us see how it goes, and we'll see how every other thing. See you same time tomorrow, but not same time tomorrow because today is 12:30, but tomorrow is going to start by 2 p.m. 2 p.m. till Mama calls. We're going to be here having a good time, talking about love, Valentine, and everything it is. Have a wonderful time. Bye. Yeah.
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
As the global community marks Valentine's Day on February 14th, the celebration goes beyond romance and gift exchanges. At its core, Valentine's Day reflects universal values of love, empathy, and compassion, values that hold strong potential for promoting peace and unity in Nigeria. Love, when expressed through understanding and respect, becomes a powerful tool for peace. In a society grappling with economic pressure, insecurity, and social division, intentional acts of kindness can ease tensions and restore trust among citizens. Nigerians' diversity remains one of its greatest strengths. Valentine's Day offers an opportunity to enforce shared humanity above ethnic, religious, and political differences, reminding Nigerians that peaceful coexistence begins with mutual respect. For young Nigerians, Valentine's Day can be a lesson of emotional intelligence, teaching that love includes patience, self-control, and responsibility. These values discourage violence and promote dialogue over confrontation. Peace at the national level is rooted in stable families and caring communities. Valentine's Day encourages generosity, inclusion, and social support, reducing isolation and resentment that often fuel unrest. The celebration provides a platform for civic engagement when communities use the day to promote charity, reconciliation, and peace campaigns. Valentine's Day becomes a quiet force for national healing. While Valentine's Day alone cannot solve Nigeria's challenges, its message of love and empathy offers a meaningful pathway toward peace. When sustained and rightly understood, the celebration can help build stronger relationships, calmer communities, and a more united nation.
Love! That sweet feeling that makes your heart race, your palms sweat, and your phone screen light up at midnight. This Valentine's season, love is not just in the air, love is on your screen. Aneke TV proudly presents a special Valentine program made just for you. Whether you're madly in love, healing from heartbreak, thinking of marriage, or still asking, is this really my person? Aneke TV has something for your heart. Get ready for real conversations, sweet love stories, relationship basketballs, and marriage truths nobody told you about. From dating in today's world to keeping the spark alive to building a marriage that actually works, we are breaking it down, heart to heart, no filters. Expect laughter, expect tears, and expect moments that will make you say, "Ah." Now maybe this. Well, this Valentine is not just about flowers and chocolate. It's about connection. It's about commitment. And it's about choosing love every single day. Do you know what to do? Grab your partner, tag your crush, call your spouse, or just cuddle up with your pillow. Because Aneke TV is serving love premium style. Don't miss this Valentine special on Aneke TV. We are having the best of them, and the men them Mr. West.
Momo, Momo, hey, them call me Momo. I don't need sense to love, oh. Your love makes me a happy Momo. I am a Momo. I'm not saying love and Momo has anything to do in common, but no. What I'm saying is that you don't do love and logic together. You have to pick one. Either you love or you are a logic and critical thinker. You can combine both. It will not work. So what am I saying in essence? Come 14th February, I will be live on Aneke TV, on YouTube. Yes, YouTube, Aneke TV. I will be live with Commissioner of Enjoyment, Good Hope himself, and some other amazing young people to talk about Valentine, to talk about love, to talk about the best practices surrounding Valentine and love. Don't miss it for anything, please. Aneke TV on YouTube with West and Good Hope.
Mazio Wanile.
Yeah, what's good, boy people? This is your boy Mazio Wanine. nwa mụ n'oko nwa anyị enyere ndị ụka na Lesotho ofu oye ofu nwa. The only boy not believe in love, my love equally believe in him. See, on the 1st of February, I will be live on Aneke TV and I will be chilling with Commissioner of Enjoyment, the man they call the Good Hope. They will be banter. That your love, then equalaba.
Social lawyer, the red pepper.
What's up, my people? It's your home girl, official social lawyer, popularly called Red Pepper. I'm being called Red Pepper. This is the season of love, and you know what it is. Everywhere is painted red. We're gonna send some love message, and you know the 14th February is around the corner, and this is the time where we share our love message. And we have the likes of Minister of Enjoyment for enjoyment. We have the likes of Marzi. We have the likes of West of Good Life, and you have the likes of official social lawyer Red Pepper on 13th of February to dish out some hot love dose contradiction opinions about what Valentine is all about. And I know you guys should not miss it. We're going to be live on Aneke TV on 13th of February on Friday by 2 p.m. I know, and I don't want to look for you. Stay tuned.
And the Anchor Commissioner for Enjoyment. Hello, what's up, Enugu? What's up, Coal City? Is your one and only Commissioner of Enjoyment. And I'm doing this today to tell you that we are going to be live here on 13th of February, just this Friday, to deal on that Valentine rave, man. We are ready for you. We are ready for the guys, and we are ready for the men who are coming my way. And I'm telling you that we're going to be here with Mendem. When I talk about Mendem, I'm talking about Mr. West. I'm talking about social lawyer, the Red Pepper, and I'm also talking about Mazu Wanile. I'm going to host these guys, and we're going to talk about love, Valentine, fun, and how it is. Again, people get back, wow, because this life, you got to know what it is and how it is happening. And that's why I say, let me just let you know, you are invited to that wonderful show. I want to see you, and stay tuned for that day. Time is 2 p.m. bro. When it's 2 p.m., let's rock and roll, because you are amazing and you will learn how to love. Got it? You're gonna have this rave on Valentine. Have a wonderful time as we bring you the best on 13th of February, 2 p.m. till Mama calls. Yes, we are ready on Aneke TV for this Valentine. Stay tuned. Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world. Morning headlines before you step out. Midday update.
Good to have you join Security Watch once again on Aneke TV. It is the enlightenment program that has identified the importance of security of lives and property in our nation. It has also profiled solutions on how to protect lives and property and also reduce insecurity to the barest level. You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube at Aneke TV. And I'll show you, see how magnificent we are with programs. My name is Chukwuemeka Obasi, and our topic for today is Police on the Road. Yes, Security Watch has, it wants to use this as a medium to checkmate on the security situations of the police on the road. Permit me to introduce to you the guests we have on the studio today. We have the high-ranking police officer, the Police Public Relations Officer in State Command, Superintendent Daniel Ndukwe is here. Officer, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, and it's nice to be here. It's nice to be back to Aneke studio. And like you've rightly pointed out or highlighted, to discuss security and more importantly, security on the road. So a very warm afternoon to our viewers from wherever it is they are viewing. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. How do you feel being a security officer to the rank you are today as a PPRO?
Oh, I feel very excited. You know, the police job is an exciting career with challenges as it were. But then, when you look at what you do on a daily basis, what you wake up to do, how it is, you're adding value, both at the local level, state level, and more importantly, nationally and even globally. I mean, you retire back home every day with this level of justification in your mind that you're actually doing a very wonderful job, particularly the job of God, which is service, serving God through serving humanity. So it's an exciting career, it's an exciting job, and we've been here. Only recently we realized that they concluded, I think, is this ongoing? I need to check my record to be very sure. The recruitment of 50,000 police officers, including those for the general duties and those for the specialist duty of the police force by the Police Service Commission, where the report came that some states, particularly in our part of the country, the southeast Nigeria, state like Anambra, state like Ebonyi, in the southwest, particularly state like Lagos State, were found to have a very low rate of people that had applied. Of the about 500,000 or thereabout people, going by the statistics provided by the Police Service Commission, you see that we had shortfalls in this state. And what that simply means is that people are not actually understanding what it takes. It's a job that is shrouded with risk, and life itself generally is risk.
Yes, a risk.
No matter where you find yourself, risk must come. If there's no risk, there's nothing. But like, I'm just trying to lay that as a background to let those who are actually viewing know that it's an exciting career. Though challenging, very exciting, because in the long run, you're not just serving God, you're not just serving humanity, you're by every bit of it, serving God.
Okay, that's wonderful. Straight to business. What's the essence of having police on the road?
The job of the police, I think the essence should be, what is the summary of all of what the police is meant to do? I mean, what is the mandate of the police force? The police, you know, is not just a very critical institute of the state.
If we have to run within the scope, our topic is police on the road.
I'm coming down to that, so that you understand better. It wouldn't just look like road is just all about what it is. Now, the mandate of the police, as enshrined in the Constitution, you are aware the police force is a creation of the Nigerian Constitution, precisely section 214, 215. You see so many things talked about the establishment of a police force in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the primary responsibility of the police force is to ensure the protection of life of citizens and property of citizens in the country generally, put in one thing, and the maintenance of law and order. So this is just a summation of all of what it is, being a law enforcement agency of government, and as a matter of fact, the most critical, because we take charge and we lead as far as internal security is concerned. Now, when you have that in mind, that the protection of lives and property, detection and prevention of crime is the primary responsibility of the police force, then you come down to the point where you are going to ask, like you ask, what is the job of the police on the road? We detect, we prevent crime. And one of those major ways of doing that is to ensure that we occupy public spaces, public conveniences, those places where you are sure that there would exist of the lives of human beings, particularly citizens of Nigeria, property, maybe vehicular property and all of that could be found. Then we need to make sure we go to places like that and begin to find a way to either prevent crime from occurring, or peradventure it may have happened, we try to ensure that we dictate those crimes. So when you say police on the road, you're just looking at one space very important and critical one, where the primary policing functions function of dictating and preventing crime is to be exercised. So that's the more reason why you find police on the road. It's very simple, to ensure that we either prevent crime from happening, or if peradventure such crime had happened, we dictate and ensure that remedial actions are taken. So that's just why you see us on the road.
All right, thank you so much. Do you please take us straight to vehicle inspection?
I like speaking from the point of view of the law, so that I wouldn't veer off and begin to tell you so many things that you may not want to really hear. I've highlighted the key. In fact, if you go back to the Police Act 2020 as amended, I talked about the primary function of the police force, about 9 of them as highlighted. The first one is exactly what I've mentioned, which is the prevention and dictation of crimes, and to protect the rights and freedom of every person in Nigeria as provided in the Constitution. Prevention and dictation of crime. Now, when you talk about vehicle inspection, we've had, let me even, for the benefit of our viewers, I can tell you a bulk of the cars. You know, most cars people use now are recycled cars within the country. What you call locally used cars, somebody has used, this one has used, some other person buys it. It keeps recycling. It's not like when you even talk about the tokumbo that is imported into the country, you pay and you buy. But these days, people largely, currently, most of the vehicles people use are cars that are locally used, that you buy and rebuy and resell. You understand? So one of the essence of those inspections, when it comes to, let's talk about particularly vehicle inspection, you want to be sure that whoever is driving that vehicle, ownership of that vehicle can be established. Peradventure is a stolen vehicle. We've had instances where we've recovered vehicles that were stolen, being driven on the road, probably not even stealing. Stealing means if car is parked somewhere, the criminal finds his way to move that vehicle out of there, sell. In some instances, we have cases where they've been balkanized and then sell as parts. And then we also have instances where those vehicles would have been snatched from the owner at gunpoint. In fact, only recently, if you've been following some of the trends of some of our operational successes we've released to the public space by way of press releases, you recall only recently, precisely on the 9th or thereabout, was a case of recovery of a snatched truck. A truck that was snatched far back as Delta State. But thank God there were security features in that particular truck. Intelligence was gathered and that truck was recovered somewhere in Ogu. Something that happened in Delta State, it was recovered in Ogu. This is you're talking about road. We've had other instances where, okay, there's another instance, the one I can remember very clearly. Our operative on stop and search duty along the road intercepted a GLK, a Mercedes version of a car, and it so happened that that same car was also snatched from somewhere in Owerri State. And how do you do this? When you begin to ask basic critical questions about the particulars of that vehicle, not necessarily because you're looking at the revenue drive aspect of it, which most times we keep telling our operators out there that, no, you're not there to actually push for revenues. You are there to authenticate ownership of cars that are on the road. Yeah, this with respect to your question about vehicle inspection, yes, on one hand. Then when you're able to establish, oh, this car belongs to this person, and there are no doubt whatsoever about the details of the vehicle in terms of the engine number, the chassis number, the registration number, and then the ownership and all of that, you've established that. Then you're moving a little beyond that. If you're conducting proper stop and search, which the police force is also fully empowered to do so. If you look at section 49, part 7, section 49 of the Police Act 2020 as amended, where it says the police have the right, which we're talking about the functions of the police officer, has the right to stop and search anybody vehicle as far as is within the public space. There are other instances where even if you have to go into somebody's house and do that, you have to do that, because the whole idea is about either you're dictating crime, or as a matter of fact, you're preventing it from happening. So in the event we have those vehicles, particularly when we are stop and search duty, the particulars are there to look at. If you are finding discrepancies, the explanations are not so that is justifying the person that is driving the vehicle is found on the road, and you could further your investigation to further establish whether or not this vehicle is stolen. I've given you instances where We've conducted such inspection, and eventually it turned out to mean that that vehicle was stolen. So, with respect to inspection, it's been happening. We've been doing that. We have the mandate to do that constitutionally and legally as approved by law. And when we do that, in most instances, we've been able to not just recover stolen property, we've arrested criminals who had either snatched the vehicle or they had stolen or removed the vehicle, as we say in local parlance, from where parked. So inspection is a bug of what we do. As if you want me to move beyond just vehicle inspection, then I also begin to tell you, because in the course of stop and search, like I rightly pointed out, as empowered, the law empowers the police to do, we also conduct stop and search where we have this whole responsibility, like I said in section 49 of the Police Act 2020 as amended, to stop whether it's a vehicle, whether you're even walking on foot. We can stop you
stop and search.
as far as we're on that road.
Okay.
And the law is very conscious to give the police this power of when you reasonably suspect. You know, the major entry points to dictating and preventing crime by a police officer largely dwells in the ability to reasonably suspect. The visibility of that suspicion is what will drive you to now begin to ask questions, to now begin to look at what is before you in terms of person, in terms of property that you found on the road. Once you reasonably suspect, you call the attention of the person. But it also means that you also have to do that in the most acceptable manner. You're not just going to do it because you want to be a policeman exercising your power and authority. You do it arbitrarily. If you do that, well, in most instances, those that have done that, they never tell a good story about.
Okay, now I'm very happy you have mentioned that should be done in the most acceptable manner.
The law says provision for that.
It's all right. One other question I want you to attend to is this police on the road. Are there specially trained police officers to be on the road, or road assignment is being taken randomly? You get my question?
Every single policeman, there are no different trainings everyone gets. We all get basically the same form of training. Like I told you earlier, when you talk about even the recruitment, we have a specialist cadre, we have a general duty cadre. A specialist cadre simply means probably you're a doctor, you're an engineer, those in the workshop, those ones you know is a given work. They are not saddled with operational responsibility, except for those who may have the responsibility around operation. Let's say a driver who has to drive, where you have to work with medics, medical personnel, and all of that. But the core duty of policing function lies within the general duty space. And then your training from day one has already empowered you to know what to do. It doesn't also mean that there are no in-house time-to-time training of those who have the responsibility of being on the road. For instance, you talk about the patrol and guard, which is found in all of the police divisions. We have patrol and guard section, and it is always headed except where probably there's a shuffle of manpower within that area. You could have somebody below the rank of a senior police officer, that is assistant superintendent of police. Is always headed by a senior officer who is meant to move out with his team. They have the requisite skills and knowledge to ensure that while they're on the road, they maintain all of the operational requirements to carry out such policing duty on the road, which in most instances will come down, as I've mentioned severally, to section 49 of the Police Act 2020 as amended, which is embodied within the space of stop and search. That would be if you're doing it stationarily. We also have several teams. I could speak very well about even the Enugu space, but I know it's the same kind of thing any other place in the country. You have team of surveillance. The surveillance team could be covert, it could be overt, moves along the road in a vehicle. It could be marked and unmarked arrangement. The idea is very simple, to ensure that observation of situations are made, and where you're not sure of what is happening in terms of the people activity or whatever is happening on the road, you take necessary action. So there is no extra unique training other than the basic training that everyone has obtained from day one. Now, in the course of the operation, no policing locations or ecosystems are the same. I always give instances. For instance, the way you police Abakpa in Enugu is not the same way you police Independence Layout. The same way you police Independence may not be exactly the same way you want to police the Okonan or Gariki axis. So you look at the peculiarity of crime there, you even look at the terrain of the road that exists there, you also need to make sure that certain training are made to tailor, to align with what that particular ecosystem, that environment brings to the policeman that is to carry out that road duty in that space. So you see that beyond the general training, which I know is a leveler for everybody, you also begin to look at what the prevailing realities and make sure trainings are tailored in that sense, so that those who go out to perform the duty will do it very professionally, and they will do it with a view to achieving whatsoever result that is expected of such policing duty on the road.
All right, thank you so much. Let's take it in this other dimension. Is there anything like enforcement of traffic laws as the duties of the police on the road?
Of course. Well, sorry, I'm going to go back to the law. Let me be sure so that I don't run off the tangent. All right, if you go to section 4, which is the primary, where you have the primary functions of the police, you look at the G, section 4G. See, the police has the primary function of facilitating the free passage and movement on highways, roads, and streets open to the public. So what are you facilitating? The movement. When you talk about facilitation of movement, you're purely talking about traffic management. You're talking about children going to school to ensure where they have zebra crossing, the road is controlled, children cross, go to their various schools, you manage affairs of road traffic generally. So when you talk about traffic management, it is a core function and responsibility of the police force as well. It doesn't mean we don't have any other agencies saddled with such responsibility. Mind you, I've said earlier, the police had the internal-led security responsibility of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we take the lead in virtually all of the aspects. In an event where we don't need to continue investigating, we need to continue action on a given case, we also make sure that such cases are moved to any other agency that have what looks like a specialized care over such a situation is moved to them. But when you talk about ensuring convenience, free passage and movement on the road, whether highway, in fact, if you listen to what I read out right now, you see that you're not just talking about highways, you're talking about normal roads, maybe trunk A, trunk B, smaller roads, streets, and all of that, where and when there is the need for such control of movement to happen. We do that. This is our duty, it's our core responsibility.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to observe just a short break now. When we are back, you tell us a lot of things about how the police manages the inspection of vehicle papers on the road. Thank you so much. We're going to observe just a short break. Please don't go away. We shall be right back.
Aneke television no mero ogbe ya mara amadi ya. Ị na-agba nkwụ, ị na-eme nkepụta nwa, ị na-akwa ozu, ị na-agba akwụkwọ. Bịawa na Aneke television, bịa ka ezuoru gị ozi ọma. Bịawa na Aneke television yiduba, na-emere ogbe ya mara amadi ya. Ụmụ Igbo bịawo na nke a bụ nke anyị. Ị mara ebe oge ọrụ etiwo mọnwụ ntakịtụkwa mọnwụ si nne. Ya mere ha ji wee weta
You give me area, you see, make a shot finish, give me water, ba. You feel like this.
Please take it.
Will the camera pick it from
it will. It will.
Give it to her.
much. We are here again back from the short break. It's still the program Security Watch on Aneke TV. Our topic for today is police on the road. Yes, we are done with the first part of it, and before I observe the short break. Once again, I am here with the police officer that manages media relations, public complaints, and information dissemination with the headquarters of the Enugu State Police Command. Superintendent Daniel Ndukwe is still here to give you more explanations on the duties of the police on the road. Officer, let's continue.
Thank you. And a little point of correction. I'm the police public relations officer, and it goes beyond media relations. I relate generally, internally, and externally. That is my job, to ensure that we have this level of interface that should make policing duties in Enugu function very well, and the expected result attain and achieve at every point in time.
Officer, that's surely taken. You know, I've introduced you like that at the introductory part of it.
Before they will think
this is media. I'm going to do that before we end the program. All right, go on.
All right, thank you. You're talking about inspection. I think I've given you a little insight to that, and I try to let you know why it is. It's very important. In fact, generally speaking, a bulk of what we do, crime fighting, crime detection, and prevention, wouldn't happen if there are no roads, right? The road is where you expect all manner of persons, good, the bad, the everything, to ply. Now, when you talk about vehicle inspection, I gave you a reason why inspecting vehicle is very important. I even gave you a little background to the fact that by insight, no statistics to prove that anyway, one agree very strongly that a bulk of the vehicle or vehicles used in our country currently are vehicles that you won't even talk about the imported Tokumbo vehicles. They are largely reused vehicle. If it's in Igbo language, Sinaka Feraka. This person uses, probably is tired of the car, he wants to move on to another bigger car, he buys that one, he sells to another. We keep recycling this vehicle within our space. So largely it now becomes what we refer to as locally used car. Now, the essence of those vehicle inspection itself is not just to ensure safety on the road, but is also to ensure the dictation of crime or prevention of it as it were. Because some of the documents your vehicle will have is to know whether the road is roadworthy. The vehicle is roadworthy. By extension, it should have passed certain tests that should guarantee that vehicle should fly our roads. We also have something of the driver having a license to drive. In fact, the worst that can happen to you is when you have an accident. Oh, let's make it a public knowledge now. You could have been driving, freestyling in quotes, enjoying your time on the road with your nice car, your cruise, and all of that. Don't pray you have an accident and it turns out to be that you're not licensed to drive. That's where you actually know that you've committed a huge crime. And God forbid will betray you. It so happened that that's the kind of accident you would have had on the road is fatal, which we refer to as, we have the minor, we have the serious, we have the fatal accident.
That's where life is taken.
Yes, if it's fatal, and then you're found to have been the one directly responsible for such fatality, and it appears that you do not have a driver's license, that means you're not licensed to drive. The essence of driver's license is that you've been given statutorily empowered to ply a vehicle on any Nigerian road, whether big, small, or whatever road to ply. So the inspection there, vehicle inspection on one hand, which we have the mandate to also do, is to ensure the safety of not just the driver, but whoever the person is driving, is carrying in that vehicle, passenger as it were, and the safety of other road users. I don't know if you get it. So when I say we are the internal lead security agency, the police, the law so empowers us to have be some form of first respondent to just about everything you could think about within the law enforcement space in the country. So when we inspect vehicle, we are looking out for things like, oh, you that is flying this vehicle, are you in the first place licensed to do that? Do you have the driver's license? Because that is the number one thing that should guarantee you fly the road. We're also looking at the roadworthiness of that vehicle. Because if it's not worthy enough, automatically lives will be jeopardized. It's possible the tires, the engine, everything is not working the way it should work. We also need to ascertain that. Above all, we look at the ownership of that vehicle, right? We are looking at how are you going to prove to us by way of the document available required for that vehicle to prove to the policeman that may have intercepted you to know that you own this vehicle. It's not a stolen vehicle. It's not a vehicle that would have been robbed at gunpoint and the owner is dispossessed of that vehicle.
This is a case of accident, right?
Sorry?
A case of accident. All of these things are being
No. I laid the background about stop and search earlier. You know, generally we are looking about the police on the road, right? And then I've talked about stop and search. I know your emphasis now is on vehicle inspection. Do we have that duty or mandate to inspect the vehicle on the road?
Especially.
So I am laying the background and bringing to your knowledge and indeed the knowledge of our viewers that we have that responsibility. And the whole idea, like I said, is very simple. One, to ensure safety of road users. Accidents could occur. And in most times you see these accidents occurring because some of these, what the law mandates motorists, owners of vehicle to do, in most instances they are not done. So safety on one hand, you're talking about accidents, right? Prevention and detection of crime on the other hand, you're talking about establishing ownership of the vehicle. Now if you move down from that to talk about proper stop and search of not just the vehicle of the individual, you're also looking at the chances and possibility of intercepting incriminating items, exhibits. We've had instances where firearms have been recovered. In fact, it's almost like on a daily basis, without any intention to exaggerate. So it's something we do. In fact, I'll give you a very wonderful instance. Sometime last year, if I can recall very well, there was a dispatch, not Waybill. You know, we keep talking about Waybill. Waybill is that document telling you that this package here contains this. So I think it's dispatch or courier, whatever. An item that was couriered, and it turned out to be a bedspread or bedsheet, as we call it. In that bedsheet was wrapped a Beretta pistol, like password, you wouldn't know. In fact, from what the investigation revealed to us was that that particular firearm, or in quotes, the item that was being dispatched was coming, I think, all the way from Edo of Onitsha, yes, Onitsha, precisely, or Lagos, Onitsha, and it was going somewhere in a Ebonyi state. So of all of the stop and search points you could have on the road, oversight anyway, because looking at it, your normal instinct is that, oh, there's nothing wrong with this item. Wrapped very well, bedsheet wrapped. You won't believe it that thing had moved just to cross from Enugu to enter to Ebonyi, the next community that is the final destination of that particular parcel. Our operatives on the road intercepted, and I mean, when you lift up what is expected to be the sheet, this thing is heavier than the normal thing. So they looked at it because they were actually conducting thorough stop and search. So when they now unpack the particular the package, they realize that lo and behold, you have the firearm concealed. We've arrested many persons in that instance, in that manner. We've recovered several exhibits, incriminating one. In fact, there was this one we recovered almost packets of cartridges, live cartridges. A cartridge might have almost 30 or thereabout pellets in it. You know, when you fire a cartridge, it throws out, dispels the pellets, the bullet-like object in it. And each one of them has the capability of killing one person, depending on where the part of the body the bullet was fired at. So we recovered all of that, password, packaged, and all of that. So you see that this is a multi-fold activity. On one hand, you are there to also ensure not just the safety of the people plying the road. We read from Section 4, subsection G of the Police Act 2020 as amended, where we have the mandate of ensuring free passage on the road and ensuring safety too on that road. So when you put all of this into perspective, you realize that the inspection, and of course there's no way you just want, the average policeman will just want to inspect the vehicle and then search that vehicle. So inspection and search most likely will happen simultaneously, depending, as a matter of fact, the level of discretion the police officers may want to exercise. I told you about when you reasonably suspect. You can look at somebody and say, okay, your mind will tell you, there's nothing wrong with this person. You can also look at some other person and you think there's something wrong with that person. You have to actually check.
And like demand to search.
Exactly. Because you know, you're not going to, the road is not where you regulate the number of persons that ply it. You have thousands of persons, vehicles plying the road almost at the same time.
Okay, supposing a vehicle papers has been discovered to have expired, what's the punitive measure?
I've always told policemen personally that we are not a revenue generating agency. At best, you advise the person. In fact, if there's a next person you can refer to say, look at this person's paper is expired. They do it. We are not internal revenue board. So, but I know some of us are not conscious enough, they are not true to themselves enough to know that there is a limit to which you handle the issue of expired paper. Yes, everyone plying the road is meant to have valid particulars. That is the norm and the law. But the discretion of the policeman also means that even when papers are expired, the period of grace, I think 14 to 21 days, that the person may have to go and renew those documents, right? So you are not just going to say, oh, paper expired, today is 12th, 11th, and you are believing that the person should have renewed it. It is not something that happens instantaneously. We know the crime will exist. Even when you talk about driver's license, it's not something you go for renewal and immediately they will give you the card instantly. I believe very strongly we are moving to that point where you can even do some of these things from the comfort of your home. But as of the moment, that is not all of what an average policeman in his true conscience should do. If the person goes beyond ensuring, then even if the person is going to renew the paper, how are you going to do that? Are you a licensing officer? You have a device, okay, yeah, put your details here, print it out, take it, pay, and go. So at best, you advise and very strongly advise the person to go and renew the paper, the person has to do that. In fact, it's the responsibility of every right-thinking citizen. I mean, it's one of the obligations you owe the state, I mean the country. You can't ply the road and there are fees you have to pay, there are payments you need to make to ensure that you do not veer of what the law is saying, and you don't do it. But you know, in our time, people just always want to be reminded, and it doesn't feel good. So I'm using this medium to advise motorists, particularly those in any reason or wherever it is you are. Let it not be the job of the police to be reminding you. In fact, I know only recently, I think the paper of one of my car is not expired. I'm getting messages, particularly, yes, they sent me a message that it will expire this period. Go and ensure you renew that particular particulars. I think even the licensing officers responsible for this should be prompting citizens. There are people who don't even remember where they did the registration. I don't know if you get it. Not until they are stopped on the road, upon inspection, you realize that this thing is expired. So, very strongly, it shouldn't be a basis for any policeman whatsoever to use it and then act unprofessionally, carry out act of corruption or extort from you. That is totally unacceptable. At best, the policeman can refer you to any of such offices that have the responsibility to ensure that your papers in that sense are valid, and you renew when necessary or do whatever you have to do to ensure that you're applying the road with relevant All
right, thank you so much. That's a whole lot of job the police is doing on the road. But also let us also be in the know if it is lawful, if police on the road goes to the extent of checking up the passenger's cell phones or laptops.
I don't know how long this has been said over and over and over again. I mean, you don't have that right. It's not stop and search. Search is the job and duty of the policeman. We can search. But the law means that you can't just pick up someone's phone and then the next thing you're thinking is to begin to go into the phone to look at whatsoever it is. Mind you, the phone for me is like an extension of the person. It's like thinking you're now an anatomist, like a doctor who has to, or pathologists that have to open up the entire body to know what is in the body of that person. That is what it's looking like. No police officer has that right to, on the first instance, pick up someone's phone, particularly on the road, and begin to search it, except peradventure there's an information, there's an allegation and you know you're on the lookout for that person, that if you get that phone, you will find there will be evidence to prove this allegation we have on this person. And even if you must do that, you must exercise a measure of decorum. It must be done in tandem with the law. So I don't know, except we're acting on intelligence, it's a rare thing for you to just be on the road. You're meeting random persons with a view to either dictate or prevent crime. And then you just feel the next thing you should do is to look at the person's phone. On instances, there are laws from the Inspector General of Police, the Police Force, the Police Service Commission, even here in Enugu State Police Command, where the very pragmatic Commissioner of Police, CP Mama Beatrice Giwa, PSE, holds sway. It doesn't tolerate that. It's not what you should do at that material moment. Then, say, paraventure, you've stopped, you've searched every other thing, the property of the person in terms of maybe their luggages, you've looked at where you can physically access. Electronic devices are not just where, in fact, by the way, how do you even begin to manipulate it? It's not something you just do on the road and begin to find so many things immediately. But I know those of us, the Judases in the system, would always want to do that. And it's one thing I know from the top hierarchy down to the lowest level of leadership within the police force, that the fight has always been ongoing. Those that have been found to have infringed upon the right of citizens in that sense have been maximally dealt with. It's not your job to go and begin to search phones per se, except where you know there is a existing, confirmed and verifiable and actionable intelligence that you have to do such. But not when people are moving randomly or you stop and begin to search. In fact, let me even give you the upside of what is happening currently, is that because of some of these directives, I think only yesterday I had to handle one that way. Someone was driving, his papers was found to be expired. I think he had his roadworthiness was expired, and the policeman stopped after inspecting the vehicle particulars and saw that the papers are expired. The driver is a company vehicle, so he had to call his company office, and they sent him the renewed one that they have not given a copy of, right? So for him to show display to the policeman and say, okay, see, they don't send me the new one, is on the phone, I don't have the hard copy, I have the soft file on the phone. The policeman said, no, we are not told to look at phones. Okay. I don't know if you get this is the level of consciousness of the directive that is going down. But I had to caution the police and say, no, you're looking at phone, he's the one presenting his phone to allow you to have a view of what you're asking him to present. There's no crime in doing that. You didn't pick up his phone and you started manipulating to know what is what and what is not in the phone. This is a specific need. He's saying, okay, I don't have the physical copy, but this has been done by my company, and this is a copy of it sent to me for your view and verification to be sure that this paper is actually there and is a valid one that we have there. I don't have it physically. So if the level of consciousness that the average policeman, particularly those performing road duties, are beginning to have, that you don't have any business with people's phone in that sense, except in events, like I said, where there is an actionable intelligence given to you that a specific person or persons, there is evidence in that phone that we need to secure for whatsoever allegation that has been.
Yes, you have said it, and that is taken. Thank you so much. I want to remind you, you are talking to the world, and as a matter of fact, bringing a lot of things to the knowledge of the people that has not been there. Thank you so much, sir. Let's take it from this other dimension. You know that the police officers on the road are people's fathers, uncles, brothers, and what have you. Then I want to come from the aspect of the self-security consciousness of the police on the road in case of any eventuality.
Is a non-negotiable aspect of performing that, let me use the word patrol and guard duty, surveillance, stop and search, whatever term that suits it. Once you're out there as somebody performing the road duties, already you're a very serious front-line police officer. In fact, there are many people that I don't even know that I as a PRI exist, apart from reading me on the media space or even the Commissioner of Police, the IG, the CP or wherever they know are those ones they see on the road. So it behoves on the average policeman, based on the training given to the person, to exercise the highest level of consciousness. Moreover, we live in a time where violence seems to be the next option for anybody. Many people are violent minded. That's my thinking. Many people are violent minded. For an average policeman, it is first his training and also his level of discretional exercising of his discretional power to ensure that his safety is maintained on that road. Now that is at the individual level. At the organizational level, we have safety equipment that every policeman is meant to wear, to have once he's out there. You have the protective helmet that is actually bulletproof equipment. It should there be a bullet to it, it should give you that level of safety that is required at that material. We have the bullet vest that you should wear. Instead, you have the arm and the knee guards and all of that in case you probably you fall and all of that. So these are protective measures or equipment made available to police officers.
Every of them.
That's what it should be.
I am very surprised hearing this from
I'm
you.
sure you've seen the DRS personnel. The way you say DRS.
But we have also seen other police personnel on the road without even the bulletproof. Some don't carry arms. They go with battery.
Yes, battery is one of our equipment. It's not just firearms.
But there's a limit to what battery can do.
Of course.
Yes.
Battery only means that you want to exercise what we refer to as minimum force. In these instances where you're meant to exercise minimum force, probably to restrain someone, a suspect who you have to restrain, you can use baton. Now, if there's anybody you find on the road not wearing that, I wouldn't know why, but I know very well that these are equipment made available to virtually all, let me use Enugu for instance, virtually all of the police units, police station area commands and all of that. There are times maybe the prevailing operational outing may not be sure that the person felt at that moment you should put on the vest, but it's something once you're out there, like
once you're out there,
for your safety's sake.
You may be very surprised to hear the response from a police officer on the road.
Of course.
When a man asked him, "Where is your bulletproof vest?" and he said, "None was given to me."
No, we have instances. There's no station where you go. We may not have everything 101%, but there is no station where you go where you don't find it. They also do. It's not an easy equipment to bear. An average bullet vest weighs in kg that is something you must be very used to.
Okay.
So when you see most of them wearing it, it's like it's a bulletproof. So you know.
But that means every professor should learn how to wear.
Of course, chances are that there could be an operation that may at that mature moment, after scaling and looking at all of the angles involved, it may not be something you think you might probably just you have to immediately shut off to do that. But my knowledge is an equipment of the equipment of every
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.